Identifying Adjectives at GrammarSongs by Melissa. You have heard that adjectives modify nouns. You know that nouns include the people, places, and things we read, speak, and write about. The word modify means to change something in some way. So adjectives change nouns. Adjectives are describing words that clarify the pictures in our heads when we read, speak, and write. Instead of writing, "the dog ran," and letting our reader guess at any number of possibilities, we can describe the dog to clarify our meaning to our reader by using adjectives. The short, furry dog ran. The adjectives short and furry describe how the dog looks, making a clearer picture for our reader. Adjectives can describe how a noun looks, sounds, smells, feels, or tastes, so get ready to use your imaginative senses. This apple is a noun. What could some adjectives be to describe this apple? How does the apple look? Well, it looks red, round, and shiny. How does the apple sound? I don't hear anything. That's because apples don't make noise, but if someone took a bite, it might sound crunchy. How does an apple smell? I don't smell anything. Well, a whole apple may not have much of a smell, but that can change when it is baked. How does an apple feel? It feels hard and smooth. And best of all, how does an apple taste? Well, some apples are sweet, some apples are tart or sour, but if you're like me, all apples are delicious. Look at all of these adjectives we have to describe an apple. Using our senses can help us describe and use adjectives. Now that you understand how adjectives clarify the picture in your reader's head when you write, and you know adjectives describe how nouns look, sound, smell, feel, and taste, let's practice identifying adjectives in some simple sentences. First, we're going to need to find the nouns in the sentence. Remember, nouns are the people, places, and things we read, speak, and write about. Next, we'll need to find each word that describes how the noun looks, sounds, smells, feels, or tastes. These words are adjectives. The beautiful princess wore a blue dress. When I read this sentence, I see a picture of a princess wearing a dress. A princess is a person, and a dress is a thing, so they are the nouns in my sentence. I will circle them. But which words are adjectives? Which words describe how the princess and the dress look, sound, smell, feel, or taste? How does the princess look? Beautiful! The princess looks beautiful. Beautiful is an adjective. Can you find another adjective in this sentence? Dress is our other noun. Do you see a word that describes how the dress looks, sounds, smells, feels, or tastes? Blue! The dress looks blue. Beautiful and blue are the adjectives in this sentence. Let's try another sentence. Remember, first we need to find the nouns in the sentence, then we need to find the adjectives that describe how each noun looks, sounds, smells, feels, or tastes. The little boy ate the salty pretzel and drank cold water. When I read this sentence, I get a picture in my head of a boy, a pretzel, and a glass of water. A boy is a person, a pretzel is a thing, and water is a thing, so they are the nouns in my sentence. I will circle them. But which words are the adjectives in this sentence? Which words describe how the boy, the pretzel, and the water look, sound, smell, feel, or taste? How does the boy look? Little. The boy looks little. Little is an adjective. Can you find another adjective in this sentence? Pretzel is another noun. Do you see a word that describes how the pretzel looks, sounds, smells, feels, or tastes? Salty! The pretzel tastes salty. Salty is an adjective. Our last noun in this sentence is water. Do you see an adjective that describes how the water looks, sounds, smells, feels, or tastes? Cold. The water feels cold. Cold is an adjective. Little, salty, and cold are the adjectives in this sentence. Hooray! You now know that adjectives are describing words. You also know that adjectives describe how a noun looks, sounds, smells, feels, or tastes. You can identify adjectives in sentences. But most importantly, you know that using adjectives when you write creates a clearer message for your reader. Awesome job! You are an adjective champion! Thank you for joining me at Grammar Songs by Melissa.